here and there, scattered all over the horizon, but go for one particular jama'ah, which according to this verdict of Hazur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be in the right path and the rest would be in the wrong. This is, in other words, what he declared. So why wonder if Jamaat Ahmadiyya claims to be that jama'ah? Every sect has a right to claim to be that jama'ah. So every sect must claim that he is the only sect which is in the right and all the rest are wrong. Because if they claim no, the truth is divided between us, then they would be declaring something against the verdict of Hazur sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if a believer in a sect is honest, he has to succumb totally and submit entirely to the will of Hazur sallallahu alaihi wasallam and follow his verdict. His verdict is that if you are honest, you must believe that only one sect is in the right, that is called Jama'ah, and the rest of the Muslim sects are in the wrong. So after that the debate seems to have ended already. But it did not end up there when Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam first declared this. One of the present at that time, he asked a question which was a logical conclusion to this. He said, Ya Rasulullah, how shall we recognize the Jama'ah from among the 73? What a difficult question. The Muslims are divided into 73 sects according to me, he understood rightly that everybody would be claiming to be that Jama'ah, of course. How would people of the time understand, detect the correct Jama'ah as against the wrong sects? This is the $1 million question, or $1 billion, or as much as you please. And apparently if you ask the same question to a mullah who doesn't know the answer of Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will be bogged down. He will not be able to answer this question. It's very difficult. Even more difficult than the question that here are 73 eggs and 72 are bad eggs. Only one is the right one. Pick up the right one, and you have to pick up the right one or you will go to hell. This is the order, and the question is how to find the right egg. You see? And the answer seems to be so complicated. An ordinary person of ordinary knowledge has not time enough to investigate into his own, to the beliefs of his own sect. He neither has the capability nor the time and so on. And even if he is the greatest scholar of his time, he has not the capability and time to thoroughly investigate all the 72 sects of Islam with the history of hundreds of years behind them. So how can you solve this question academically? It's impossible. But look at the beauty of the answer of Hazrat Aqdas Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. What a wonderful person he was. He simplified the issue so wonderfully that one is left wondering why me, stupid self, did not think of this answer before. He said, Ma ana alayhi wa ashabi. You can recognize that sect by finding out whatever is happening to that sect. If the condition, the state of that sect is similar to my state and of those who are following me, he has to be the right sect. If his state is similar to my opponents and those hostile to me, he has to be the wrong sect. So can't you recognize light when you see it as against darkness? Where is the big difficulty in finding out the right sect from the wrong? You imagine me bring my, the state from which I am passing and the state from which my Sahaba, my companions are passing into your mind, and immediately you apply that picture to the sects. Whoever confirms to that picture is the right sect. So, ma ana alayhi wa ashabi is now the question which precipitated to this. How do we find where stood Hazur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his followers? We can find it in two ways. One, again, that tricky, devious way of reaching the truth through academic study. Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam held certain views. If you open up the debate of those views again and try to find out the views of all the sects and their beliefs and then judge whether according to you they are according to Hazur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam's views and doctrines or not, the same Pandora's box is opened again. You have not gained anything from this statement of Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he could not have meant that. What he meant was what was happening to him and to his followers. If you know that, you must also recognize the sect which will go through the same conditions and the same treatment in the future time. That is to say, what is happening to me at the hands of my opponents, the same thing will happen to the followers of truth in the latter days. What was that? You know that. He was denied the right of calling himself a Muslim. Was he not? His followers were denied the right of declaring themselves to be Muslims. Hazrat Umar was so thoroughly beaten for the crime of declaring himself to be a Muslim that when he declared it near Khana Kaaba, the opponents not only beat him but told him to declare himself to be a Sabi. He said, this is your name as we call you. You have no right to call yourself a Muslim. They were deprived the right of declaring kalima. They were almost beaten to death. Don't you remember the history of Bilal, what was passing at that time to him, what was happening to him? Such cruelties were perpetrated against those who declared kalima. They said, you have no right to say kalima. They were deprived the right of going to Mecca for performing pilgrimage, the Hajj. They were deprived to build mosques, to say azans, to do anything which was enjoined upon them by the Holy Quran to do. These are the things which were happening to Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his followers, were they not? And to whom are they happening today? If not to Ahmadis, are they not? Each one of them. Each one in every detail. Hundreds of Ahmadis were almost beaten to death in Pakistan only recently in these years of so-called enlightenment, just for the crime that they declared Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah. Nobody could imagine that in this age this could happen. People had thought and that this was the thing of the past that would never repeat, that could never repeat. No Muslim before it started happening could believe that any Muslim could punish somebody for the crime of declaring the unity of God and the truth of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Could you imagine it before it happened? So the dark ages have come back upon you. And those who are behaving like the opponents of Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how could you say they are in the right? If you say that, then you are in the wrong. Because then the opponents of Hazur Akram and his followers are just alike, then there is no difference. So when you begin to behave in the way that people behave to Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his opponents then whatever your claim, whatever your profession, whatever your belief, one thing is certain, that you cannot be in the right. If you are treated like the followers of Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam were treated, and he himself was, then no sane man can declare such a people to be in the wrong. Because their treatment shows, and this is not their own act of fabrication. Such treatment comes from their enemies. They don't like this treatment. Willy-nilly this is the treatment which is meted out to them. So this is question which you have raised is a very potent question. Please.
If you would allow me, there's a saying, make this matter very decisive.